From architecture to painting and sculpture, literature to live music and theater. Radio 111 presents Bonnie G and Brayan Mendoza with The Desert Scene, your connection to culture and entertainment in the desert cities. Here's Bonnie and Brayan.
And we are back on The Desert Scene, and we're now joined by another buddy of mine who's been on the show many times, David Perry, who's, first of all, a wonderful author, has a best-selling book out, but is also a great PR guy, and there's a bunch of stuff going on. How are you doing, David?
Well, ahoy, Bonnie. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I can retire now.
So you're involved in a bunch of stuff. I know Hedwig and the Angry Itch over at Desert Rose Playhouse. Tell me what's going on. And I mean, things are starting to open up. We're trying to still be safe, but there's a lot of stuff cooking. So what's going on?
Well, there are. You know, the October, as you know, is always the season in Palm Springs. And because of post-COVID, we've been waiting a long time for a bunch of good stuff. The first thing, big deal, the first performance since COVID shut it down for Dezart Performs next Wednesday, the 27th, for 4 shows only, Girlfriend. It's a musical. It's about 2 guys who fall in love in high school. And I keep saying to people, this is a unique experience because it's dinner and a show. Wonderful food provided by Lulu Catering. The cast, Eddie Vaughna and Kyle Hester, are married. So we have 2 husbands playing boyfriends in a musical called Girlfriend. And I'm going to be there opening night at the Rancho Mirage Amphitheater. First outdoor performance for Dezart Performs, a really big deal. Then in December, everyone's been asking me, is AsiaSF Palm Springs coming back? And the answer is yes. They're already doing live events. They did the opening and closing show for the Dinah. And sometime in December, I can't say the exact date yet, but you can take it to the bank. The lovely transgender ladies of AsiaSF will be back on stage. And then, of course, the Purple Room, where Frank Sinatra and Dean and Sammy, the Rat Pack, first performed. They're doing so well, They are actually adding Monday shows starting in November. And the thing that I keep telling people about is don't miss November 5th and 6th, the premiere of Amanda McBroom, the composer, triple threat who wrote The Rose. She's going to be there for 2 shows only.
Excellent. Yeah, and I love that song. I've done that song a million times, Amanda McBroom. Yes, so much going on. Let's go back to Asia. Tell people, because some people may not be familiar with that. And first of all, it was very successful other places, and now they brought that concept here in Palm Springs. Tell us a little bit about it. That's
right. Yeah, AsiaSF is a cabaret dinner theater. Started in San Francisco over 20 years ago, wildly successful. Open Table has judged it one of the top 100 restaurants in the country. And so January 2020, Larry Hashbarger, the founder, brought it down here. It's dinner and a show, and all the performers are transgender women. So it's not just amazing entertainment with these incredible entertainers, but it really is about how you can be your authentic self. I mean, it is really not just about society. It's about socialization. So it's come here to Palm Springs. It opened in January 2020 and closed 6 weeks later. You know, as a PR guy, I was so proud. Someone said, you did the biggest opening in 10 years. And I said, yeah, then the biggest pandemic in 100 shut it down.
Yeah. And Amanda McBroom, now, is this her first time at the Purple Room?
You know, I want to say it is, but I'm not sure about that. I should know. It's sort of the first time in a long time. And I'm excited because in addition to, we actually represented her. About 12 years ago, she was at the Bay Area Cabaret in San Francisco. And I have represented dozens of performers over the years. Never lucky enough to represent you, unfortunately, Bonnie. But Amanda McBroom, some people call the greatest cabaret singer of her generation. Also an actress. Since I'm a sci-fi nut, I'm excited because she played a Starfleet captain on Star Trek once.
Okay. Excellent. And by the way, you know, you mentioned the Purple Room Mondays because 2 of my good friends are going to be starting Monday, November 8th, Charles Herrera and Keisha D. I'm doing a show with Charles Herrera right now. We opened last night at Desert Ensemble Theater Company, Reunited, and It Feels So Good was our concert fundraiser. It's last night, tonight, and Sunday matinee. And Charles is in that. He's fabulous. And, of course, Keisha D is fabulous. So they're going to be starting Mondays, November 8th. So that's going to be great.
It is. You know, I mean, I think I can join you in saying we're all ready to get back, you know, safely and do what we need to do. But there certainly is pent-up demand. I mean, I have been to the Purple Room several times since it reopened, and there's so many people there who dress up. It's one of the few places people dress up to go. It feels like you're stepping back into the Mad Men era.
Yes, absolutely. It's a one, and if you haven't been to the Purple Room, you really should check it out. I mean, there are national names like Amanda Broom that come in on the weekends, but during the week there's some wonderful local entertainers where it's not ticketed. I mean, I think there's a drink minimum, but so it'll be Charles Herrera and Keisha D Mondays starting November 8th. Tuesdays, Rose Millette, wonderful jazz singer. She's fabulous.
Amazing.
Wednesdays, my dear buddy Darcy Daniels and my friend Michael Holmes, they do some Rat Pack music on Wednesday nights, and Thursdays Sharon Sills, Va 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 Boom. I mean, they've got such great entertainment there.
It does, and of course on Sundays the classic, the
Judy show.
With, where else do you get to see Judy Garland, Betty Davis, sometimes Joan Crawford, and Tallulah Bankhead on stage all at the same time? I mean, it's life after death. I mean, it's an amazing show. And I keep telling people, if you think you can wait until the day before to get tickets, you can't.
Think again. Yeah.
And that's why I'm really pushing Amanda McBroom, because she's going to sell out. And I am so excited she's coming back. I'm telling people, go to purpleroompalmsprings.com right now and get your tickets for Amanda McBroom, November 5th and 6th.
Yeah, and Michael Holmes has become a really good friend of mine. And I have not seen the Judy show yet, but I promised him sometime in the next month when I, schedules and budget, I'm going to go see the Judy show. Now, let's talk about your book for just a second. Upon This Rock. What bestseller lists are you on now?
Well, it is legitimately a bestseller. It right now is at the Frankfurt Book Fair in Germany, which is the world's largest book fair. It's a 5-day event in Germany, and they are trying to get the European rights for my book to translate it into Italian. And right now we have someone who's turning it into a screenplay, knock wood.
Excellent.
We are trying to get it optioned for a film, but it won 2 awards. Best Gay Novel of the Year from the San Francisco Book Festival, a big deal, and also a silver medal from the prestigious Independent Book Publishers Association. I was just over at Q Trading on Sunny Dunes signing 4 more copies because all the ones they had sold out. So it's a gay mystery thriller, noir, set in Italy with 2 good-looking young heroes based on No One I Know. What's not to like?
And you know what? It's so funny because when I read it, probably a third of the way through, I thought, boy, would this be a great movie. So that absolutely it should be a film. Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Armistead Maupin, author of Tales of the City, has called it an elegant, twisty thriller. Fenton Johnson, best-selling author, called it the gay Da Vinci Code, but a lot better. And Jan Wall, who I know you know, Emmy Award-winning Hollywood reporter, says, I'm already casting the movie. So from your mouth to God's ears, hopefully it'll be on screen. And I'll get you in. And when you want to come to see the Judy show, Bonnie, I know the PR guy. Call me because it's a hot ticket.
Okay. Now, do you have ideas? You must, as an author. Do you have ideas about casting for the book? Your dream leads?
I do. There is a wonderful character in the book called Lady Peg, who she's kind of a bitchy gossip writer in Orvieto, Italy.
Yeah.
And I think Parker Holland, who was incredible in Hollywood, I think she would be brilliant.
Yes.
And also there's an elderly, actually a woman who's in her 90s, Italian baker, who here's what my husband Alfredo Cazuso thought would be perfect because she's the right age now and she's Italian, Sophia Loren.
Wow.
And those are two of my wish lists. So if you know Parker Holland or Sophia Loren, give them a call.
Unfortunately, I don't. How about the guys? How about a couple of the male leads?
Well, that's harder for me. I would love to know what you think because one is a 30-year-old guy from the South. And the other is a 27-year-old gentleman from Spain. There's that wonderful actor from Spain who's been getting a lot of attention right now. Jan Wall mentioned him in a text to me, and I can't remember his name now, but one of your viewers or listeners would know who I'm talking about. I've had lots of people texting me saying, what about this? What about this? So I'm hoping we cast it soon. Keep your fingers crossed.
I will, absolutely. Are you? Brian has a question for you.
No, I was going to say I just recognized who our guest was because I was like, because I was so depressed about something earlier that I was like, I totally forgot. I was like, sorry, David. Sorry for not recognizing you. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you? Have you read the book yet?
No, I'm actually in the middle of it. I actually was reading it, and the only reason I had to put it down was because I have to read something for class for for university. So I was like, I really want to read this instead. I don't want to read I don't. We'll. I don't want to read Christopher Columbus. That's literally what I had to read.
Yeah.
I got it. Well, it's a mystery. I'm not going to give it away, but I will break a little bit of news, Bonnie. People have been asking me, is there a sequel? The answer is yes. The Upon This Rock is set in Italy, but the sequel starts in Palm Springs and includes a small town in Spain and then a little bit aboard ship. So there is a definite Palm Springs connection to the next book, which I've just begun working on.
I was just going to
awesome.
ask you if you were writing something else. That's fabulous.
I was gonna ask you, just out of curiosity, because I know there's been a lot of discourse about gay actors and gay roles. I was gonna say, do you have a preference for gay actors to play the male parts in your story? Just because I'm just curious if you have a preference.
Would it matter to you?
It wouldn't matter to me, and I have heard both sides of the issue. To me, what's important is someone who resonates with the role. And as a gay man who's about to celebrate a big birthday with a 0 on the end, 60, I'll just admit it, November 1st is my 60th
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. When I was a young person, the idea that an actor could play any role and be out gay was not wise and not smart and sometimes dangerous. So all I want is someone who thinks that these characters are important, have something to say. The theme of the book is refugees. In a sense, we're all refugees from something. I want actors and actresses who, one, are, if they're not LGBTQ, they are allies of the LGBT community.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, I just popped into my head. I was trying to think of his name. You mentioned, it's been a while since I've read the book, and it was fabulous. But we said one guy, it's Southern, right? What about, in 30s, what about Edward Norton?
Oh, of course. Yes. That would be perfect.
Okay.
I think he'd be great.
Okay.
And, the one person that sadly is not alive, when I was writing the books, and there's the evil bishop in the book, as you know, in my brain, I had Alan Rickman, Snape in all the Harry Potter series.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
For the evil bishop, I need someone like Alan Rickman. That's who I would.
I don't know if the age matters, but Jeremy Irons, maybe. Like, I was thinking about that because Jeremy Irons is kind of like Alan Rickman-esque.
A little more refined, reserved, but maybe.
Yeah. I am ashamed to say I hadn't thought of that. Him playing the Pope in the Borgia series, chewing up the scenery, killing people left and right.
Yeah.
This is perfect for Bishop Arnaud.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Wow. So do you have I know it's a pressure on, do you have a target date for when you're hoping to finish the sequel?
Well, like I said, I've barely just started, but my goal is to have the first draft done by the middle of next year. I have the plot already in my brain, so we are actively working on it, and I'm really excited. And the book is doing well. We're going to be doing a reading in December here at PS Homeboys, another live reading and book signing.
Okay.
I'm also doing an event for my friends who will be in San Francisco in November at Manny's in the Mission, and I've done a bunch of virtual readings. So it's going well, knock wood.
Fabulous. And again, so much coming up here. First performance, Dezart, The Girlfriend, outside at the Rancho Mirage Amphitheater. Then AsiaSF. Then also Amanda McBroom at the Purple Room, November 5th and 6th. So much going on. Thank you, David Perry, for being here as always. Continued success with your novel, and thanks for supporting and promoting so much great stuff in the desert.
You great. We'll see you on stage.
Okay.
Boy.
Thank you, David. All right.
And don't forget to buy David's book on Amazon.
Upon This Rock.
Upon This Rock by David Perry. It's available where books are sold.
Fabulous.
So support. It's a great book.
All right. We'll be back with more in just a bit.